Hello, everyone. Denise Middleton here. Thanks so much for joining us for Volunteer Vibes on this Friday morning. So glad to have you with us. Listen, we are almost through the month of July, summertime just flying by. But you know what? There's still a lot of things going on. And of course, we need volunteers to help out and help make everything a success. So there's still summer camps that are going on, of course. I'm sure some of you may have kids who are in summer camp right now. And so my first guest is here to talk about a summer camp because they are looking for volunteers. We have again, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm well, Denise. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So first, tell us about Friends of North Richmond for folks who may not be aware of the organization.
Yes, ma'am. So, Friends of North Richmond is a friend location under Attack Poverty. Under Attack Poverty is a nonprofit, international and throughout the Houston area, and we pretty much walk alongside community residents and encourage them to attack poverty in their lives and communities. And we do this through spiritual growth, education, revitalization, and basic needs. So, Friends of North Richmond is specifically placed in, well, strategically placed in Richmond, Texas. So, we're about maybe 30 to 40 minutes right outside of Houston. And we just walk alongside community residents and love on them. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And so this one though is involving kids. So you can people can volunteer and help out at these camps. Tell us about the summer creative camp that you have going on.
Yeah, so one of our programs when we focus on, basic needs and education. So a real big need in the Richmond community is to have a summer camp. And so each year we do this. So it's been going on for a month. It started in June and it's going until July 27th. So it's our summer creative camp. And pretty much what we do is we just invite community kids and kids from the local elementary school, Pink Elementary across the street, to come in to play, build relationships, and to have fun. So we have STEM activities. So we partner with local organizations to come in and to build out programming. So we focus on STEM activities. We have arts and camp. We take them to the local libraries. We do creative play and movement. We provide healthy meal and snacks. We take them on field trips and just provide that safe, enriching environment for them, cool environment for them to enjoy their summer here in Houston. Yeah.
I know that's right with these triple digit temperatures. So
Yes.
what should volunteers expect if this is, their first time maybe working with children or working at a summer camp?
So volunteers should expect, so when they come in, they would sign up for us. All volunteers 18 up will need to go through a background check. It's a quick and easy process. You will sign up through the site that we use is attackpoverty.galaxydigital.com. You'll find all the information. One of my team members will get back to you to walk you through the process. Honestly, it's quick and easy. We can get you up and running in a day or so, but you can expect to come in. You will meet the coordinator of the summer camp, which is Susan Jackson. She will walk you through the ins and outs. The camp runs for 3 hours, so it's from 1 to 4, and you would just come in, love on the kids. You may be doing things like helping to prepare a meal or to, get them set up with their supplies for the program, or to just honestly take them to bathroom breaks or to chaperone a field trip. But you can expect to be busy and to have a lot of fun.
Well, talk about the different days and times that they can come. For instance, if they can't make it, one weekend, they can come back another. What are some of those options available
Yes,
for
yes, yes. So we have a need for at least 12 volunteers a day. You can volunteer. So the camp runs Monday through Wednesday. You don't have to be there all 3 days out the week, and it's from 1 to 4. And so we're really flexible. So you can sign up through Galaxy Digital. You can sign up for individual opportunities for one time slot. So the expectation is to at least stay for the full day of camp, but that doesn't necessarily have to be Monday through Friday. It could be Monday or Wednesday or Friday or whatever your schedule would allow.
Good. So, what's been kind of the feedback for those who are trying to get an idea of what this experience is like? What have other volunteers said about the camp?
They love it. I mean, I love it too. It's fun. Like if I have time away from my duties, I go and I just run around and hug on the kids. They're really, really sweet. But the volunteers, they've loved it. A lot of our volunteers that come throughout the year for our yearly after school program during the school year, they come back and help out during the summer. People rave about it. Obviously, we try to keep you in this air conditioning as much as possible. We keep you inside. But the feedback has been really, really positive, and we invite one and all to come and join us.
That is wonderful. Do you all have any other upcoming opportunities for folks once the camp is over, in case they want to,
Yes.
join for something else?
Yes, ma'am. So during the year, we have a year-long GED program and ESL program. You can volunteer to teach English as a second language or to teach GED classes. We also have UCAN Academy. We partner with the local elementary school, Pink Elementary, which is right across the street. And we usually have students from Jane Long, and they come in after school from 3 to 6. We give them healthy meals. We do homework help. We do a really reading intensive program because we want to get kids at their reading level. So there's always opportunity to volunteer there. We also have revitalization projects where we go into community residents' home and say, hey, how can we assist you, or what are your needs? So it may be something like repairing a bathroom, or doing painting their house, or building them an accessible ramp, or things like that. There's also the opportunity to coming to Friends of Richmond and to volunteer at the community garden. So there's always a need. And so we partner with the local food bank called Helping Hands. And we honestly, this past, and that's my area. And so 2 days ago, I just got the word that we just crossed our 1,000-pound mark for the season, for the growing season. So we've donated 1,000 pounds of food to local food bank. And thank you. Yeah. And so it's always an opportunity to come and volunteer at the community garden. And then honestly, if there's a time where there's not really much to do at the center, we also partner with local organizations within our community to meet their need to help them out as well.
Wow, you guys are busy. You have a lot going on. I can see why the need is so great. You guys need a lot of volunteers because you are doing a lot in the community. We definitely appreciate everything that you all have been doing. Thank you so much, Britt.
Thank you,
I hope you guys have a fun time at the camp in the AC.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. There we go. Thank you.
All right, stick around for me for just a little bit. Actually, so I want to bring in our next guest. I have Miss Ellen here. She's with the Houston Eye Associates. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Denise? Thanks for having us on.
Of course. So glad to have you with us. Now, this time we have so many different unique volunteer opportunities. I love that. And so this is another one right here. This is dealing with vision health in schools. Talk about why that is so important.
You might not know this, but more than 30% of kids in the Houston area need glasses and don't have them. And when we talk about test scores, when we talk about the ability to learn, that's a critical point. So one of the things that the school nurses do at the beginning of the year is check vision screening. They usually do it in kindergarten, first, third, fifth, and seventh grade. It's like every other year, and it's state mandated. It's a big job for a school nurse, even before COVID. So Houston Eye Associates Foundation has adopted the Eye Care for Kids program, and we are launching our vision screening program with volunteers for the 2022 fall start of school and throughout 2023. So we're looking for about 25 to 30 volunteers that can come to the school during the school day. They need to be able to get to and be able to work in the schools, and we will provide them with the state certification that's required to do the screening.
Yeah, and that's actually how I found out that my son needed glasses. He came home one day with a sheet of paper like, Mom, they said I can't see.
Well, and I'd like to add that we have an additional program with Eye Care for Kids that if the kids do not have insurance or the family doesn't have resources, we have a team of about 40 doctors throughout the Houston area that will see the students for free, give them a free pair of glasses, and the foundation will cover the direct cost for the frames and lenses.
Wow, that is incredible.
So, Houston Eye Associates Foundation, it was started in 1981 by some founding doctors of this eye care, vision care practice, recognizing that people don't necessarily have the insurance or the economic resources to get very critical and needed vision care. So we are committed to preserving and restoring sight, and it starts very early.
Yeah, and we're looking at some pictures here now with some of the volunteers here in the program. Talk about how important it is to have a strong volunteer team and what they need to know before they sign up.
Well, what they need to know before they sign up is that what they're doing is critical work. It's very helpful, not only to the school nurse, but to parents such as yourself. They'll be seeing kids that have a need, but they'll also be seeing kids that have the ability to get glasses, and the family may not know about that. So they have to be driven by that mission, that they understand that they're doing very critical work. The training is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. I hung up some of the charts behind. And so they would need to be able to, one, like kids, be able to work with them, and be able to help organize them. Now, our ultimate goal is to have 2 volunteers per site. And in the first couple visits, to have someone that is an HEA, Houston Eye Associates staff member helping them, the foundation staff member helping them with the process. So they have to be very flexible, because the nurses are very busy and they may not start on time, but if they're able to help out, and being in the school during school hours, that's pretty critical too. I think that's where we've seen some pushback, because a lot of people work. But if you have one of those flexible schedules where you have Fridays off, we would love to have you volunteer and say, I can screen for kids, but I have to be on Fridays. We can work with that.
And what's the type of commitment that you're looking for from a volunteer?
I would say maybe being able to do this maybe twice a month. If we have 20 to 30 volunteers, it will depend on how many volunteers we have. It will also depend on the need. We're reaching out to school districts now and letting them know. We have 6 screenings currently scheduled, but I imagine we'll get up to 40 or 50 screenings by the time December rolls around. The school nurses will probably start screening at the end of September, and then try and get those issues identified and resolved, those vision issues with the kids identified and resolved, probably by the end of 2022, December, before Christmas break.
And what about, an age range here? If there's an 18-year-old who wants to sign up to volunteer, a 19-year-old, what's the age range here?
That's a great question. I would welcome high school students that are able to get to the schools. So they would need to have transportation, and they would need to be reliable about being able to do that on certain days. We need to have, the reason we want to have 2 people at each site is, one, it goes a little faster and it helps organize it a little better. But also, there's also a buffer if somebody somehow can't make it, that there's at least one screener there, and that we can get a staff member there to help them.
And like you mentioned, there is training, so anyone can, sign up if they don't, in case they've never done it before. What does that training look like? I know you said it's simple, but just to give them an idea.
It's about 4 hours. We have a training scheduled. We have 2 screening trainings scheduled for August right now. It's about 4 hours. We would provide coffee and a light breakfast and a lunch.
Well, that's nice.
But then you would learn how to use these charts behind me. You would learn how to identify some vision issues with students, and understanding that you're just screening. You're not a medical professional, you're a screener. But it does require state certification. So your certification would be good. I believe it's for 3 years. So if you sign on with us this year and you get a job next year, that's great, but you still have your certification if you need to use it for any other reason.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, is there anything else they need to know? I know the COVID cases are going up, and, they'll be in schools around all the kids. Will they need to wear a mask? Will they need to be vaccinated? What are the requirements?
We would recommend that they be vaccinated. We would recommend that they wear a mask. It would depend on what the school requirements are.
Okay, gotcha.
But our recommendation right now is that wearing a mask is voluntary. We highly recommend that people do get the vaccination and wear masks, though, when they're in the schools. But again, that will depend on the schools too, and what their requirements are.
Okay, and I didn't know if you mentioned, how many schools are you all trying to get to during the school year?
I would like to get to at least 8 different school districts and at least 40 to 50 schools this year. Right now, we have 6 screenings scheduled for 3 schools. And that's based on the fact that we probably think it will take 2 days for some of the larger schools. The age range for the schools that we're serving is primarily elementary and middle school. There may be some high schools, although it's not state required. There are some nurses in the high schools that do vision screening, which I think is a pretty critical time. Personally, I feel that we should be having mandatory vision screenings in 9th grade, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, goodness, it's a lot of schools, a lot to cover there. So you all definitely need a lot of volunteers. I hope that you all are able to get plenty and, get everything done. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us.
For this opportunity. The volunteers have an opportunity to help us help thousands of kids in our area, and I hope they'll consider it. So thank you for the opportunity to share this information.
Absolutely. And stick around. I'll bring you back in just a moment. Right now, though, I want to bring in Volunteer Houston because, of course, there are so many other events and activities that are happening this weekend. So we have CG Norris with Volunteer Houston here to tell us about all the ways you can help out. Hey there. Good morning.
Hey there. Good morning. Yeah, so the first opportunity I wanted to tell you all about today is with Raise Up Families. If you like reading and you like shopping, there's an opportunity for volunteers to help kids find books at a Barnes & Noble. They're looking for volunteers to help out this Saturday, July 16th, from 1:15 to 3:15. So it's only 2 hours. They're looking for 13 volunteers right now. Requirements are that the volunteer be 14 years of older. And same as with the camp opportunity, this is all indoors. So you get the air conditioning that comes with being in a Barnes & Noble.
That's always nice.
Yeah. So that's one of our opportunities. I also wanted to take an opportunity to tell you about Volunteer Houston's new civic service opportunity, Serve Houston. It's a new AmeriCorps program in the Houston area. And what we're doing with Serve Houston is bringing a cohort of 50 AmeriCorps volunteers together for a service learning opportunity. These AmeriCorps members will serve in teams of 5 at sites across the city of Houston, all nonprofits you've heard people talk about on this show you have every week. So like the Houston Tool Bank, Santa Maria Hostel, the Houston Food Bank, so many great sites to serve at. It's a commitment from September 19th through April 6th to serve your community for about 20 hours a week part-time. It's designed so students can be able to participate in the program, so it's a part-time role of service learning, and you get to have fun. If you like volunteering, this is a bit of a step up where you can do it with more of a commitment and get the service experience.
All right, awesome. CG, thank you so much. There are so many things going on every weekend. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, we have the summer creative camp, we have the vision screening. So there's so many different ways that you guys can help out. You can always go to volunteerhou.org. CG, it's pretty easy to sign up to be a volunteer, right?
Yeah,
Tell us what they have to do before we go.
Go on our Volunteer Houston website. You'll create a profile, and then from there you can search for what you're interested in. So if you're interested in reading or animals, you can search for volunteer opportunities by date. It's a really great way to find an opportunity that fits for you.
That's right. And there's plenty of ongoing opportunities in case you can't make it one weekend. There's always something to do, something going on. So we appreciate you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. Of course, you can come here every Friday at 11 a.m. and you can always go to the portal to find out what's going on. We hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.